Once in a while, you will find a manga series that you are not sure based on the title or cover if it is going to be any good. I recently finished the first 18 volumes of the manga Komi Can't Communicate. In this video, I will share with you what the story is about, leaving spoilers to a minimum, sharing what age I'd recommend for Komi Can't Communicate, the manga series, what life lessons can we take from this manga, what I thought about the story, with a GTP rating, and help you decide whether this is a manga for you, will want to read for yourself, or suggest to someone you know. Welcome to the GTP. My name is Scott, and my goal is to help you find great experiences for yourself and your family. So let's go ahead and dive in to another manga review. If you've not done so already, would you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel? See, when you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, it helps others know that this small little community does exist. My hope and my goal with the GTP is that we can be a learning community that's able to help build relationships and foster an area where people can feel valued and welcomed and be able to join in on this journey with us. So let's go ahead and dive into the story. The manga Komi Can't Communicate is all about a girl named Komi who has recently gone into high school. To the world around her, people think she is so popular, so amazing, and beautiful that none of them would have a chance to be friends with Komi. The truth is, how everyone views Komi is not how Komi views herself. And Komi longs for the day to even have one friend and not actually feel alone. Komi also struggles with a major communication disorder where she is so scared to speak that she hardly ever says any words. When Komi does try to speak, while she is trembling with fear, it is seen to others that she is too good to be around. Since her classmates have put Komi on an imaginary pedestal, no one bats an eye that they are not good enough for Komi. When Tandano, the lead male protagonist in the manga Komi Can't Communicate, who appears to everyone else is very ordinary, extremely average at anything, Tandano, the lead protagonist, does have one very particular skill that no one seems to notice or appreciate, and that is he has a very high emotional intelligence, or how some call it EQ. EQ is the ability to sense, understand, and give empathy towards others. It is vital in life that you grow in your own EQ. I would have been that student who would have thought too highly of Komi and never sensed that something is actually wrong and choose to reach out to help. EQ gives us the ability to help sense how someone else is feeling. So enough of my rant with EQ. Tandano is able to see that something is off with Komi. Instead of being afraid of her, reaches out and starts communicating with Komi through writing on a chalkboard. It is there that Tandano discovers that Komi actually does not have any friends and chooses to help Komi make 100 friends. Komi Can't Communicate is a very fun, wholesome, hilarious, and cozy manga series. For those who don't know, I have a full-time job, 3 kids, and I'm also going to school full-time. There are many nights and evenings that I'm just flat out exhausted. Yet, when I'm so tired but still want a manga to read, Komi Can't Communicate hits the spot. When it is cold and rainy outside, this is the perfect story to wrap yourself up in a blanket and read. There were many moments where I was laughing out loud while reading the different volumes of Komi Can't Communicate. This series does not take itself too seriously. It's definitely not a series if you're looking for something that has a lot of drama. The author does a great job with the dialogue, being able to laugh at painful experiences such as a person who apologizes, but the apology comes off far worse than what they said to you in the first place. I always appreciated Tanjiro's side comments, as they are often hilarious, such as when a new character shows up out of nowhere with no context whatsoever. The author is very aware of his audience and brings them in almost like breaking the fourth wall in a story. I also absolutely love the relationship that Komi has with her own family. When I was reading the story, it brought me to tears. As a father myself with two girls, the relationship dynamic that Komi had with her own father. So there, I said, this manga did have me a little teary-eyed, but they were happy, wholesome tears. The author does a great job with the relationship with Komi and her father. I would be near teary-eyed too if my daughters were wanting to help me shop for clothes. And if you are a parent, or if you ever become a parent and have daughters, it can be so hard to say no when it comes to clothes shopping, as they just look great in everything and you just want them to have every piece of clothing that they see. Even on volume 6, chapter 80, I found myself laughing out loud. My face was beet red from laughing out loud also in volume 11. Each volume had me laughing at some point, almost like watching your favorite sitcom on TV. Even though it can feel like a sitcom, I do recommend reading this series in order and not skipping volumes. It is a great series you'll want to re-pick up and reread past volumes, and like finding your favorite episodes on an old sitcom that you would just like to watch again, just because it's wholesome, it's funny, and just brings you so many good feelings. Now, some episodes will be funnier than others, but at least through volume 18, the story is still hilarious and wholesome. The story and the characters reminded me of the charm in Persona 4 and 5 when it came to everyday lives of the characters while in high school. And I'm not sure if anyone in the audience has picked up this subtle Easter egg, but the shirt I'm actually wearing is the logo for the high school represented in Persona 5. The story goes through all 4 seasons, summer vacations, class trips, cultural festivals, Valentine's Day, and so on. One thing I was so happy to see in volume 10, you will follow Komi and her friends on a new year in high school. It reminded me of how I wished for one more year to follow the cast of Persona. After watching the characters grow so much within a year, I wanted to continue that journey to see how they would grow some more. This is a story that not only do you want to follow their journey as Komi and her friends continue high school, but you're already curious and want to follow their journey through college, what it's like to get married, and follow them as they grow up and mature and have their own families, their own careers through their life. It's a story that even though right now it's only through high school, I hope it can just continues on for a long time. Komi Can't Communicate hits this nerve with the 10th volume as we watch their life unfold as they all continue to grow, facing old and new struggles. How will summer vacation be different this time when Komi has a few friends? What lessons did the students learn from the first cultural festival that will play into the second? Will they repeat past mistakes? What tools will they use that they learned from the year prior to help them with new life challenges? The story does a phenomenal job with character progressions. The characters you read in volume 1 are not the same characters throughout to volume 18. Now, some of the characters do have some old habits, but you do see the progression of growth with each character, whether that's at school life, whether that's at home, or whether that's hanging out with their friends on the weekends. You can see that there has been subtle changes that's creating them to be the people they are now. As you watch each character progress, you can't help but smile and want to cheer them on in the background as they move forward in life. One small touch I appreciate is when the author references something that's happened in the past. A little sidebar will tell you the volume and chapter in case you'd like a frame of reference. Almost like when a sitcom rarely has at the beginning, previously on this episode, The author does that in the story. You will read something from volume 16 and it will have references to something that happened in volume 5. This will help you see like, oh, Komi learned a little bit from that past that's helped her to make the decision she's about to make right now. Now, Komi Can't Communicate is rated T for teen. And for the most part, I do agree with that rating. Reading through all the volumes myself, I was comfortable with my near 11-year-old daughter reading each volume except for a couple chapters in volume 8 and in volume 14. For younger readers that are not teen, I would recommend reading the volumes for yourself first and then introducing each volume to them as you see fit. So what are some lessons that we can apply to our own lives from the manga Komi Can't Communicate? One of the life lessons we can take from the manga is unless you really know someone, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes with their life. I've known some phenomenal communicators who spoke in front of hundreds, or if not thousands in a crowd, yet they are going through a deep depression. As they are wowing the audience, almost appearing like they have it made, inside they were eating themselves alive. Just because someone appears to have it all does not mean they really do. I knew a guy who was a musician who played on a stage almost weekly and appeared to have lots of friends. Right before they moved to another town, another coworker shared how they wish they could have been friends with them. The person played music weekly shared with him that his and his wife were so lonely and actually struggled finding friends. So here's this scenario where the person appeared on stage that they were popular, had all these friends. Well, behind the scenes, they were just waiting and hoping that someone would reach out and connect with them. So just because it appears that we have everything going on the outside doesn't mean we really do on the inside. Just because our lives appear great on the outside doesn't mean it's great at home. It can be very easy for us to put up a shield or a barrier, put up a face that smiles when we're actually really hurting. Like we see with Komi, where on the outside everyone thinks she's a goddess essentially, puts her on a pedestal, where the inside Komi is bored, she is lonely, and she's just hoping she could muster enough courage to build a relationship and have at least one friend going on through high school. Personally, I have a huge struggle of failure. It may appear to people on the outside that I'm a very hard worker, but the truth is, what's driving myself to be a hard worker is that fear of failure. I'm working hard because I don't want to fail, not necessarily because I'm looking to support others. I want to support others. I love people. I want to love people well. But at times, the reason why I'm go is because I just don't want to fail. After reading the series all the way through volume 18, this still feels like a series I can pick up any time when I just want to relax. So because of that, I'm going to be giving Komi Can't Communicate a GTP rating of a 9.5 out of 10. I caught myself smiling as I pulled out volume 16 to read. It is very rare to grab a book and you just can't help but smile because you know how wonderful it's going to be when you start reading. This story shows with a little bit of empathy, with being kind and being generous, it does actually pay off in the very end. And I also appreciated volume 18 sort of breaks the fourth wall and included a short series of small puzzles that the reader can solve. I was still laughing out loud, and volume 18 even ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm so excited when the next volume is released. So I highly recommend this manga series. It is the perfect manga for when you're exhausted, you've had a long day, yet you still want something to read. Or it's the perfect cozy manga when it's raining outside, you're cold, you just want to snuggle up on a blanket, and you're looking something to read. I highly recommend checking out Komi Can't Communicate. As we grow as a learning community, would you mind sharing in the comments below what is a manga that you recommend others to check out, like Komi Can't Communicate, when you're tired and exhausted, yet you still want something to read? Thank you so much for checking out this manga review. If If you'd like to see more content like this and you've not done so already, would you like, comment, and share with a friend? Would you subscribe to the channel as we build this wonderful community together? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.